Hey guys, Welsknight here, bringing you a new video. This one is going to focus on some ideas for pimping out the floors in your buildings. So first we will look at the killer white rabbit. And there's actually another one over there. This map, Random Seed, has a couple of killer white rabbits, but I digress. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. One easy thing you can do to make a floor stand out a little bit is you can take two different types of blocks and tile them, just like so. Just a nice crisscross pattern. This works very well in like bathrooms. If you want to do a bathroom or like a kitchen area in your home, you can lay down a tiled floor like this and it'll look really good. And you can do that with pretty much any type of materials. Here we see it with dark oak and with birch, and it makes kind of a chessboard pattern there. My personal favorite is to use quartz and dark clay of some sort. This is the black stained clay. You can find it in mesa biomes. You can also do, if you're doing like a, for example, we'll get to that room in a minute. If you're doing like an abandoned ruins or towers or something like that, lay down some stone blocks. Lay down some mossy stone blocks and lay down some cracked stone blocks. Using different variations of the same type of block can give you kind of a nice feeling, a little bit of a nice variety. You can also lay down, dig down too deep, fill the bottom layer with lava or water, and then lay down a layer of glass so you get some kind of cool effects down here. It can be kind of a neat little effect if you want something to kind of jump out. This would be something you might use in like a forge, for example, if you want to make like a forging room with an anvil and several furnaces and all that kind of stuff. You might want to do something like that. Now, another important aspect of designing the floor in your house can be elevation. You'll see here that this is the same floor spread all the way across, but by raising this part of it up by one level, I've effectively divided this room in half without putting in any sort of a wall. So if you want to do like a nice open room but kind of split it up into areas, you can do something like this. The ceiling in this makeshift display building is too low for this works really well in buildings with very high lofted ceilings like mansions, tall cabins, things like that. As I said, basically you can just divide the room here by simply elevating one level. You can also do it with just a layer of half slabs, but then you need to do some other stuff if you want to put any sort of chests or beds or chairs or anything like that in that other room. So moving on, here we have a floor made of nether brick with netherrack buried in select points and then lit on fire, so you've got kind of flames going. This could be good for a room like, for example, housing a nether portal. If you want to build a little nether castle, make it look all cool, you might do something similar to this, just because it gives it kind of a cool ominous effect, or like an entrance to an old dungeon, or whatever it may be, something along these lines. Just keep in mind, whenever you have an open exposed flame like this, it is a safety hazard, and it will burn things. So if you wouldn't want to do anything like this in a building made of wood, or where you have wooden furniture or wooden decorations or any of that kind of stuff, because you don't want to light your stuff on fire. That's never a good thing. I had a button over there and it disappeared. Silly. And now Zombie wants to look at my floor ideas. Don't you? Yes, you do. Yeah, stay over there. I don't want any part of you. Next, let's move on to carpets. Carpets are an easy tool. You can do the same by using wool blocks instead of carpeting. That does have an advantage, because you'll notice that if I lay down, like, for example, a bed on a carpeted room, I can't just lay it down here. I'm going to have to break a spot and then lay the bed down. And that leaves a gap underneath the bed. So it has its pros and cons, but it is something you can go for. And you can make some cool pattern designs and all that kind of stuff. Here's another example of a pattern. Now this is a pretty small room and doesn't do it justice, but you'll notice that this is a 5x5 pattern and it's completely and totally tileable. So if you want to take this 5x5 pattern and repeat it over a larger area, it'll actually look pretty good when it's all said and done. It'll look slightly random, but at the same time there's just enough of a pattern to it where it'll look like there's a method to the madness. It actually turns out pretty good if you want to do something like that. One piece of advice I can give you is if you're looking for like tile patterns, floor patterns, stuff like that, just do a Google search and look at some Google images and whatnot, because a lot of times you'll find a lot of those various floor patterns translate very well to Minecraft. They're based off of blocks and squares. So like this one, for example, is pretty much stolen directly from a Google image. Lastly, you can do something along these lines. You'll notice that this is basically the checkerboard pattern from before, but slightly different in the way that I've got each of my checkerboard blocks are 4 squares, 2x2, and they each are made up of 2 smaller patterns. So looking at this, you can see by using 4 different colors, you can get a floor that kind of pops out. So just a few ideas, few examples, maybe you got some inspiration out of it. If you have any other ideas for floors and patterns and whatnot, leave a comment, let me know. And if you liked this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, or leave me a comment to help keep me motivated. But that's all for now. Thanks.